I'm starting to figure out how to redo this door, and I have all the pieces. Just kind of had to figure out how it was constructed. So these dowels were broken off, and I pulled one of the dowels out. So now I have something to reference. I could go buy something like that, or some people even try to make them themselves with a drill and a... But I remember using sticks before, and you could just cut off little sections of a stick that's about the same diameter. I remember making these old barnwood tables for a film shoot, and I just built it completely just from barnwood and dowels that I made from a stick. So I didn't use any nails, just glue and dowels. So I'm going to take that experience and apply it to this. So I have this drill bit that's about the same diameter as that. I'm going to use some wood glue and just cut off little sections of this, and it should work just fine. This needs to dry out because it was in the rain, but that's the solution there. This part, I guess it's gotten wet in the weather as it was sitting out in the front of the barn, so I'm going to try to take this panel out and then put some wood glue in there and just kind of smash it together again. And I think that's it. I'm going to salvage some old hinges from a door inside my house, and then also a door handle from inside my house. And I'm going to keep it all the same. I'm just going to put some clear coat polyurethane on top of that, but that's it. Not much to it. So I'm just going to point out that a lot of these paint chips and stuff, I'm going to just kind of brush it down a little bit, but I want to keep them on there. And the polyurethane that I'll put over it will act as a glue, and it'll just keep it sealed on there. So I'm going to just kind of drip some glue down there, and I'll just kind of show you how this is constructed. Pretty much you got just these two little edging things like this together. It goes right in between that. And I think they put little tack nails in it or something like that, in case you have a door or something that you want to restore. I mean, this is... Luckily I have all the pieces and it's not too difficult. So as the wood is drying here on the door, I'm going to work on the frame. One of the things I needed to do was secure the bottom plate of this. I knew I needed to anchor it down just to keep it from sliding, but also this door is going to be on here, and I needed something solid so it's not swinging back and forth, moving out of its place. And if someone bumps into it, it'll move, it's just little things like that. So it doesn't need to be much, but just enough to keep it in there. I went to the Habitat for Humanity, had some good advice from a guy there. And this isn't a normal weight-bearing wall, so I don't need to worry about this bolt being huge and securing it in place. And basically there are different ways of doing it. You can get these big lag bolts, I think, that are for masonry, concrete stuff. And this is kind of a different bolt, but basically I have one of these concrete drill bits, and this will pre-drill the hole for this, and this will just tap this in with a hammer, and then a little nut on top. I want to get it through, and then as I tighten the nut down, this will pull back up, and this little sleeve right here will just kind of, by the friction, will pull down with it and just anchor it into place. So this is a simple way of doing it, just a little couple bolts on each wall, and that'll be a simple way of doing this. So I thought that was a good tip from the guy. I had never really done this before, so I wanted to show that. So I pre-drilled it with the just a normal wood and metal drill bit, just to get it to the concrete itself. And then I have my concrete drill bit. The guy was telling me just to, as you're going, just go slow and then back it out a lot to get the debris out of there. And so that's what I'll be doing. Yeah, this will take some time, but that's the basic idea. So this is a real beast to get this through, but maybe my drill bits suck, or maybe you just start small. So I'm starting with a really tiny one, give it a good start, and it helps out a lot with the bigger ones. It's a little tip. I got that one. The task is done. It was pretty self-explanatory, and we just kind of ruined my drill bits, but at least I got the job done, and it holds it in place, so that's all I was looking for. I had a heck of a time trying to make sure this was plumb and straight on the wall, because this beam right here is not completely straight, so it was kind of throwing me off a little bit. So I got it close enough, I think, to work with, because this is, I'm going to have to dig in, chisel in my little door latch, so I had to make sure that was going to at least be close enough to the door. As long as the door closes enough, I mean, it's not gonna, we're just looking at just a kind of a stylish bathroom door. It's not a, as long as you could get some privacy in there, I think. So you can see the dowels that I made. I got them about the thickness of what the original ones were. Maybe the sticks were a little wider, but I took this very hard bristles wire brush. It's kind of scraped and long, so it kind of has those ridges like an original dowel would have. So also, if it's a little wider, this will also scrape it down to exactly where you want it. I'm gonna get some little tiny nails to nail these things in. I'll have to glue a little bit. It's all together now. Luckily I have these tiny freaking nails from my step grandpa's collection. Matched up the other small nails. So I think this door is ready to go in. I put a piece of fence board down there. Just give me enough gap to compensate for any flooring that I put down. And I could always put like a little stripping on that door in case there's too much gap. And I measured and remeasured and doubled and checked it twice and triple checked it, and so hopefully it's gonna work. Alright, well, it pretty much works. The hinge is taking a little more room than I thought, so I have to adjust for that. I have to go in a little bit. But other than that, it was pretty much precisely there. So I think what I'm going to do is, I made it so these studs were easily adjustable, so I could unscrew it and just adjust it back a little bit. I think that's all it'll take, just to whatever that gap is, 1/4 inch on both sides. I took a little more effort and time into this door area because I just really want to make that door work. That'll just be the coolest feature. And I think people will notice that when they come in. They'll just love that door. I love it anyway. I think it's cool. Alright, here we go. I just took it back a little 1/4 inch and it's working just fine. I still have to adjust for that pole, because that pole is of course not exactly straight, so it's going to be, when it closes, it'll be in just a little bit and the bottom will stick out just a bit. But that's what you do. It's kind of like a log house. So this is the door. In my house I'm going to steal some parts off of, mainly just the door handle, the little mechanisms in there, and then these old-timey hinges. So as I'm pulling this off and scraping the paint off, I could see the detail on the back of this thing, so I'm going to polish this up. It's pretty cool. I even want to try to get as far as like getting a skeleton key and see if I can actually get it to lock and work properly. Who knows? Trying to figure out how this is attached. just have two plates on each side with a couple screws on top and bottom. This thing was kind of a bugger to slip out, but I think this is it. Little key goes in the bottom there, and then that's where the door handle slides through. So I'll open this up. Looks like it's already opening up anyway. Simple little mechanism in there. I'll try to figure that out. Looks like it's all there though. That's good. Looks like it hasn't been touched for a while, obviously. I even have the hardware for this part of it. Oh. Might be of a little of a challenge, but I think it might be worth it.